say for example, there are 4 matches that were played, and all these 3 players played it, right? So Sehwag, Dhoni, and Srishant. Now, just for the moment, just let's look at number of the score of Sehwag. So in first match he scored 0. In second match he scored 0. In third match he scored 120. In fourth match he scored 160, which gave an average of 70 in 4 matches, right? Similarly, in Dhoni, you can see 60, 60, 70, 70, which give an average of 65. Now, if you compare Dhoni versus Sehwag, you would see the returns, or say the average of Sehwag is better than Dhoni. So when you look at only a performance, say like a 3-year performance or a 5-year performance, this is what you get to see. The average is what you get to see. So you cannot really make out whether this performance was worth the risk or worth the volatility. So average is nothing but the performance of a particular scheme or a particular scheme, right? Now let's consider Srishant's innings, and he played say 0, 0, 5 and 20. So his average was 6.25. Again, so just to make it very, very simple, so you clearly know that Srishant is very, very underperforming and the average is very, very low. So let's consider with the risk of oversimplification, let's consider Srishant as the risk-free return. That means that this is the minimum return which is expected out of any scheme, at least risk-free return though the fund will deliver. So say for example in India, SBI fixed deposit returns are considered akin to a risk-free return. So let's consider that as the risk-free return. So let's consider Srishant's score as 6.25 as the risk-free return. Now, what happens? How do you really come out with Sharpe ratio? So here in Sehwag, you can see that the average was 70, but there was a huge standard deviation of 71.41. So in an inning, Sehwag can score 70 plus 71 or 70 minus 71 or even more than that. So this is average plus 1 standard deviation. So the standard deviation, there is a statistical formula you can easily calculate in Excel. So Sehwag's average was 70 with the standard deviation of 71.41. MS Dhoni's average was 65 with a standard deviation of 10. Now this is where Sharpe ratio actually comes, and this one number can actually help you in deriving, how strong or how risk-adjusted returns have been very, very good for a particular scheme. So what is Sharpe ratio? Sharpe ratio is nothing but the average return minus risk-free return divided by its standard deviation. So the basic context is that a fund manager has taken a certain risk to deliver a certain kind of return. Now the return which was delivered risk-free, that should not be considered. So subtract the risk-free return from the total return, and that's where you get the additional return which was taken because of the risk, which was delivered because of the risk. So how much risk was taken to deliver that additional return over the risk-free return is nothing but Sharpe ratio. So here if I subtract 70 minus, if I take a difference of 70 and 6.25 and divide by 71.41, I get 0.9. So the Sharpe ratio of Sehwag is 0.9. Similarly, if I subtract 6.25 from 65 and divide by 10, I'll get Sharpe ratio of Dhoni. So Sharpe ratio, again to repeat, is nothing but the returns that is per unit of return, which generated with per unit of risk. So what is the additional risk I have taken? What is the additional return I have generated for per unit of risk that I have?
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.